Welcome back to Nostalgianomics. Today we have a good old-fashioned investing lesson for you and how the patient usually prevail when it comes to investing, and the people who want to be too active and need too much action are usually the ones that get shaken out. And it's kind of why investing works, because, in the long run, there's very few people that still own the items and still capture the majority of the gains, and a lot of the people take the quick tendies in the beginning. And I have a few examples here. I actually dug one out here. Remember these bad boys? These Celebrations Ultra Premium Collections. Yeah, these have been sitting stagnant for multiple years. A lot of people dumped them, said they're garbage, said they're trash, and they're not moving at all. You could have done so much better in X, Y, or Z product. You should have sold. And honestly, the same thing happens in the stock market. The same thing happens in cryptocurrencies, in which I have multiple examples for you today. But I'm going to go through some items and explain to you why time doing its thing is usually better than you trying to outsmart the market, time the market, and getting too active. Before we do that, I'm going to shout out today's video sponsor. It is Arizona TCG. They are your source for consignment on all of your graded cards. Send them all to them. They sell everything for you, send you a big check at the end. They run everything through their 100% positive feedback, 18,000 items sold, over 3,000 follower eBay store, and they only charge you a 13.5% fee. If it's under $100, they take on a $5 shipping fee. Let's be honest, that's even better, or about the same as what it's going to take to sell everything yourself on eBay. So make sure to check out Arizona TCG if you want them to do all the work of selling for you. The link will be in the description and the comment section below. So here is the product we are talking about right now. Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection. There's one box left at $684 plus 10 shipping, and then it goes up to $700. And so, let's look back at how this was performing. So price charting doesn't actually start picking up the data until February 2022, but the product was actually released in 2021. And so it's been about 4 long years, right? A little over, 3.5 to 4 long years of holding this product. Now, if you caught it at MSRP, right? MSRP, you did very well, but most people did not. You had to buy in the 200s. In fact, I brought an example for myself. I actually didn't have any connections. I didn't have a distributor. I bought it right off eBay like everybody else. Here's some of the orders straight from Blowout Cards. This is just 2 of the orders I made, but these are 2 cases of Celebrations Ultra Premium Collections. So there's 4 per case, $900. That's $225 per UPC is what I paid. And so as you can see, the price remained very stagnant all of those 3 to 4 long years. You saw little blips up into the near $400 range, then it dropped back down into the low 300s, and it pretty much just sat there literally for 3 to 4 years, guys. And usually somewhere along this time period, most people would have sold, okay? And that's why most people do not own them when they just saw this massive uptick that we've seen in the last few months, and now they're $700 products. And so $225 didn't look that great when, a few months ago it was still $300, and everyone holding this were, looked at as idiots. But now the fact that you're up over 200% on a $225 purchase over that 4-year time period, you look like a genius. Oh, you made 200% in just 3 to 4 years? Well, that's amazing. Yeah, it didn't look amazing though a few months ago. Why not? Because most people do not have the patience. They get shaken out of markets, and they're always enthralled with a new shiny thing, when usually the best thing to do when it comes to investing is sit and wait, let your money work for you, let time do its thing. Another one, Hidden Fates. Nobody wanted Hidden Fates. Everyone said this was a terrible investment because guess what? It shot up very quickly, it settled, and it sat at about this shows 150. It was about $175 to $200 for the longest period of time. I don't know why price charting has the price so low. Everyone that's been part of this market knows this was about $175 to $180 ETB all of this time. If you look at the chart we have, right? Earlier this year, you could still buy it at about $175, all the way up to $200, all the way up to about, January of this year, or say December of last year is about a $200 ETB. And nobody wanted to buy it. Nobody wanted it. It was a dead set. It was sitting idle for too long. And now all of a sudden that ETB you've been holding has now jumped up and made another leg up. And now it looks like an incredible investment. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone wants a piece of it. But now it's too late. But everyone who'd been holding and taking the ridicule for the past couple years, well, now depending on when you got it, you get $100 in ETB, and now you're 300% up on your money in about 5 to 6 years. I don't know about you, 300% in 5 to 6 years sounds pretty good to me. All you have to do is hold, not that hard. Crown Zenith ETBs. Who remembers everyone talking about this being a dead product? It's overprinted. This is one of the true ones. It was printed into the ground. Look at this. This ETB sat in the 40s, 50s, even down to the 30s for the longest time. 2 full years. I remember people getting ridiculed in my own Discord for buying case positions of this when it was in the 40s. They got ridiculed. They got laughed at. You should buy X, Y, or Z product. This is going to sit at that price for years and years. And now we see, literally just a couple years later, if you would have bought in the 30s, 40s, 50s, you've literally, well, is that $180 plus 9 shipping, almost $190. You've either tripled, quadrupled your money. 300 to 400%. Sorry, yeah, 2 to 300 plus percent gains in just a 3-year time period of when this product was released. But remember, nobody wanted it all that time. Everybody wants it now. No one wanted it then. Guys, same thing happened in the stock market. Let's take a look at AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. Pretty much makes all the processors, graphics cards for computers. Look at this time period after the 07-08 crash. Nobody wanted AMD when it was $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 a share. And look, if you would have bought it after the crash, right? Buy low, sell high. If you would have bought down here in the lows, right? $2, $3, $4, let's say $5 a share even. You would have got ridiculed for what is it? Let's say 2008, 2009 until what is this? Like 2016, you would have got ridiculed for 7 years. Oh, what a stupid play. What a dumb investment. Your money's sitting there making nothing. I'm making money in X, Y, or Z. What a dumb investment. And then over the next, 6 years, it runs to almost $160 a share. You're literally up over 3,000% on your money in a matter of 16 years. I don't know about you. I think 3,000% of my money in 16 years is just fine with me. Even Bitcoin, everyone's favorite investment, the golden child. If you would have bought Bitcoin after its initial big pump in 2017, you would have bought into the downturn anywhere down here, anywhere down in the $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 a Bitcoin mark, right? You would have had to sit on that coin from 2018 into 2019 into 2020. It wasn't until 2021 where you really started to see your gains. Meaning, all this time you would have been getting ridiculed. All this time for holding a losing investment, a stagnant investment. And then, one magical day, it all became worth it. Guys, this is investing. This is how investing works. You lock your money up, you place a bet on the future, and usually when markets hit, they happen all at once. It's not this nice steady climb. Oh, I'm going to make 10 or 20% a year on this. It's not how it works. A lot of the times you're going to go stagnant, you're going to lose, and then when things pop off, you're going to make hundreds of percent, 100, 200% gain like that. It's how it's always been. It's how it's always going to be. And so don't be tricked by these ridiculous videos out there talking about, you've been sitting on this item for 6 months. You've seen no gains. I told you. Because all those people melt away whenever these massive gains happen because they don't like to come back and say, well, yeah, if you would have just held and not sold after 6 months or a year or went stagnant for 2 years, if you would have held, yeah, you would have outproduced all these other gains. You would have made hundreds of percent. You would have averaged, 30, 40, 50% a year. Yeah, it was a good hold. And so that's one lesson that can be learned from these markets right now is even if we go to a period of stagnation on some of these items in Scarlet Violet, and people are saying in 2026 or 2027, don't you wish you wouldn't have put your money into that box? It's been stagnant or very, very slowly, steadily rising for the last 2 years. You would have been better in X, Y, or Z stock or crypto or product. Because all those people are going to be gone in 2027, 2028 when things spike. And they're like, oh, well, yeah, that box just went from 250 to 500, 600. I'm going to go quiet now. Remember, guys, time will do its thing when it comes to investing. Have patience. If you need to get active, go flip, run a business. Don't invest your money. If you need constant cash flow, if you need constant, flips, if you need constant entertainment, constant action, investing may not be for you at this stage of your life. Or maybe put a very small portion of your income into investments. Keep the rest for your churning and burning. Because when you're trying to churn and burn investments, it's usually not going to work out for you. And you're probably going to be one of those angry people when things like, X, Y, Sun, and Moon, now Sword and Shield are starting to go to the moon, saying, I wish I would have held. I wish I could have held it all. Well, you could have. You probably just didn't want to because it wasn't making you money fast enough. So that's all I got today, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope it does help. Back in a new one soon. I'm out.